opening day.
Hammer to left field. See you later. Mike Trout, how's that to start the season?
To the All-Star game.
Oh my goodness, he crushed it. Giancarlo Stanton and the American League with one swing has tied it up.
457-foot home run. How much fun was that?
Oh, it was amazing.
Plus, every game of Major League Baseball's postseason.
Cut back some more. Leaping and he caught it out of here. Mookie Betts. Shohei Ohtani.
Until a champion is crowned at the World Series.
And the Dodgers have won it. Repeat champions for the first time in baseball in 25 years. The Dodgers are World Series champs.
Major League Baseball is on ESPN Radio.
Dayton's radio home for Buckeyes football. 1410 WING. Dayton's ESPN Radio. You want hot takes?
No, I'm not going to apologize to Ryan Day. Everything we said about Ryan Day up until the playoffs was true.
Not bad. Come on, Kenner. You can do better than that.
To be fair, of all the elite quarterbacks in the NFL, Joe Burrow is the least accomplished.
Getting better.
1,000,000%. I 1,000,000% believe that the Dayton Flyers are afraid of the Wright State Raiders. That's why they come up with every excuse in the book not to play them.
There it is. The hottest take of them all. It's the Justin Kinner Show, presented by Frickers, live on 1410 ESPN Radio.
All right, everybody, we welcome you in live. It's the Justin Kinner Show, presented by Frickers. I hope everyone's had a great start to your week. A lot to get into here today. I guess I'm going to kind of effort to talk World Cup. I mean, my goodness. I know soccer might be the most popular sport in the entire world, but it's definitely not the most popular sport here in the States. But you would think it is, with all the soccer fans in the area that all of a sudden are about to disappear. We're going to talk about that to open up the show. Hunter Green made his return over the weekend. We'll take a look at that. I feel like today's going to be one of those hot take shows. I feel like I'm going to be upsetting a lot of people today, whether it be Bengals fans, Browns fans, Reds fans, soccer, kickball fans, I guess. But yeah, we got plenty to get into. More on the LeBron watch. LeBron, could he return to Cleveland? But one particular star player in Cleveland made some headlines today. We'll talk about that as well. So I want to open up with this. I want to open up with the World Cup. So I've had a few people reach out that have been frustrated with the show and me, and have questioned on a few occasions, you know, we would have really appreciated it to have more World Cup coverage, more soccer coverage. And I've always said this, and I've always said it respectfully too to people. Like, if you want me to talk hockey, and I've had people reach out and say, I wish you would implement more hockey into the show. I think it would be more disrespectful for me to effort to talk hockey and soccer than it is for me to leave it out of the rundown for the show. Okay. I'm not a hockey aficionado. I am not a soccer aficionado. And there's something about the World Cup, and when the Olympics come around, and when these events come around every couple of years, every 4 years, I feel like we all get bullied into pretending to being fans of something that we are not. And then when you try to say you're not a fan of it, then people try to question your patriotism. They try to question, okay, so you don't like America. That has nothing to do with it. All right. I'm pretty sure there could be Team USA arm wrestling. I'm not all of a sudden going to become an arm wrestling fan because it's Team USA. I have had a hard time diving into the World Cup. I've had a hard time getting invested into the World Cup. I've had a hard time pretending to care about the World Cup. And the question I have is am I the only one? Now, last night, you know, Belgium takes care of the United States 4-1. Down 1-0 early. I mean, so I sit down. I'm like, okay, the hype. Maybe I'll give it a shot. And I'm gonna sit down and I'm gonna watch soccer. I'm gonna give it the old college try. And I couldn't do it. I mean, not just because they got down 1-0 early. I mean, they did tie it up, but I mean, my goodness, gave up 4 goals. I mean, to be honest, if more soccer teams had defense like Team USA's defense, I think, you know, with the uptick in scoring, I think you would see more people tune in for soccer. I mean, there was at least 5 goals last night. So kudos to Belgium and USA, you know, 5 goals between both. But 4-1, that's it. So I'm thinking, okay, well, when's USA play again? They don't. That's it. It's over. And I felt un-American when I thought, okay, thank goodness. Now I don't have to pretend. When people say, did you see the game last night? Oh, yeah. USA. I had to pretend. I had to lie. I can't do it. I don't care that it has USA across the front. This isn't about patriotism. It's just simply about the sport. You can't just put USA across the front and expect me to be passionate about it. And you're gonna and people will say, well, the ratings, a lot of people are watching. Soccer is the most popular sport in the world. It's nowhere close to being as popular of a sport here in the States. It's just not. Not a hot take. Not even it's not even that, I don't feel like I'm being unfair in saying that. I don't think I'm being unfair in saying that. And here's how I know that you all are full of it when you try telling me that there's more soccer fans here in the States than you think. I know there are soccer fans here in the States, but those soccer fans are all about to disappear once the World Cup is done. And the good majority of you are now done because USA is done. Now we can go on to our regular scheduled programming. We don't have to pretend to be soccer fans. Yeah, I got tired of the emails and trying to be forced and bullied into World Cup coverage. And I'm like, I would be doing you a disservice by pretending to care. What do you want me to do? Come up with, I mean, I know what you want me to do, but what do or what you expect me to do? But I'm telling you, I couldn't do it. I sat down, I tried to watch it. I just, if maybe you think, oh, he's too dumb. But maybe I am. I don't know. Couldn't get into it. As far as that's concerned. And I remember too, like when I was binge watching Ted Lasso for the longest time, I'm like, I really love this show. I love Ted Lasso. I'm excited for it to come back later this year, by the way, in a month. But I remember after binge watching the hell out of Ted Lasso, I was like, maybe I'm a soccer fan now. I feel like I'm a soccer fan. I'm going to sit down and watch soccer. Turned on soccer. Nope, couldn't do it. Nope, couldn't do it. I really, really loved Ted Lasso. I love that show. Couldn't watch soccer. Really love my country. Couldn't watch soccer in the World Cup. I'm just done. So in 4 more years or next summer when the Women's World Cup arrives, I'm not going to, just for your feelings, I refuse to pretend to like soccer. I just can't do it. 937-518-1410. That's the number that you can call or text to jump in on the conversation. USA goes down at the hands of Belgium last night, 4-1. And that's it. I was like, okay, cool. Well, maybe USA will bounce back. When do they play next? They're done. Okay, cool. Didn't know that. A lot of effort. A lot of fake emotion from people into this. I can't get on board. I'm sorry. We can all be done pretending that we care about soccer. I don't care that it is the world's most popular sport here in the United States. It is not. It's nowhere even close. And I refuse to pretend that it is. That's just me. You can like it. You can be into it. More power to you. But I also I appreciate the people like me who are real about it, who aren't going to fall for the pressure of, because it has USA on it, we have to go for it. I didn't care about it. I couldn't get into it. I tried. I gave it the old college try. Couldn't do it and won't do it moving forward. 937-518-1410. Am I the only one? And maybe you are listening and maybe you fell for. I don't know where the accent came from. But I don't, did you fall for the peer pressure of the World Cup? Were you bullied into pretending to be a soccer fan for the last month? 937-518-1410. That's the number that you can text or call. It's okay to admit it. I was almost bullied into it. I didn't let the bullies win. I didn't. I couldn't do it. I'm not a soccer fan. Never have been, never will be. I gave it a shot, and it was painful. But I'm just so glad that this is all almost done, so we can all just go back. We can all just return to actually caring about the sports that actually matter here, and that is football, real football, not kickball, football, which, by the way, 1 month from today, preseason football. I care more about preseason football. And to be honest, 1 month from today is the Hall of Fame game. It's actually the preseason of preseason football. The Hall of Fame game, I think it's the Panthers and the Cardinals. I've never been more excited to watch a bunch of walk-ons on the Panthers and Cardinals go head-to-head in an exhibition game. I'm going to enjoy myself way more watching that than I am trying to appease the soccer fans. I can't do it. Can't wait for NFL preseason football. I'll take 6 months of NFL preseason football before I watch one more World Cup game. I can't do it. 937-518-1410 is the Justin Kinner Show presented by Frickers. Frickers, your home for fun food, sports, and spirits. We'll take your calls. I'll read your texts. We'll get to all of that when we come back. Hunter Green made his debut for the season over the weekend. But are we embarking? Could we potentially be watching the final starts of Hunter Green in a Reds jersey? We'll talk about that when we come back.
ESPN 1410 Wing AM weather.
Today, cloudy this morning. A few showers developing during the afternoon, a high of 86. Tonight, partly cloudy skies, low around 70 degrees. And tomorrow for your Tuesday, considerable cloudiness with a high of 88. I'm Adam Zellick for 1410 ESPN Radio.
1410 Wing AM, Dayton's ESPN Radio, powered by...
Hey, Cordell Transportation is now hiring experienced Class A CDL drivers, excellent pay, benefits, and a $5,000 sign-on bonus. Apply right now, online at CordellTransportation.com. Do it right now. Driven to succeed.
From the Montgomery County Clerk of Court's office, I'm Shannon Crabtree. Join us for Clerk Mike Foley's award-winning Connecting with the Community Speaker Series, connecting citizens to local leaders. Join us on Tuesday, July 21st, when National Peace Ambassador Marlon Shack Shackelford shares highlights of his award-winning violence interruption programming. That's Connecting with the Community from 6 to 7 p.m. at the Employment Opportunity Center in the Westtown Shopping Center on West 3rd Street in Dayton. Another example of how Clerk Mike Foley is bringing the courthouse to you.
What defines Ohio? A place that dares to go first and never looks back. There's no slowing us down. In Ohio, we're powering America, discovering breakthroughs, driving the future, propelling tomorrow. At Jobs Ohio, our mission is clear. Strengthen job opportunities and empower Ohio's workforce. Ohio, our time is now. See Ohio's momentum at jobsohio.com/Ohio's time.
Sound familiar? At Mattress Firm, we understand there are many problems that can keep you up at night, like snoring, aches and pains, or sleeping hot. Our sleep experts have the unrivaled know-how to match you with a mattress that can help. And right now, save $500 on Tempur-Breeze mattresses, plus get a $300 instant gift. For the great sleep you deserve, visit Mattress Firm. We make sleep easy. Restrictions apply. See store or website for details.
I move mountains for a living. Literally. That means I don't carry hand lotion, and when it comes to serious heartburn, I don't mess around with anything but Rolaids Max Strength. Its dual-active formula has 1,500 milligrams of calcium carbonate and magnesium hydroxide that relieves heartburn fast. And the best part? The roll fits right here in my pocket, so I can get back to moving mountains.
Rolaids spells powerful relief. 1,500 milligrams is our highest amount of acid per tablet. Read each label. Use as directed. Keep out of reach of children.
Swing by Frickers today and treat yourself to our irresistible ribs and chunks special. Enjoy tender, saucy ribs grilled to perfection, paired with your choice of frickin' chicken chunks, boneless wings, or traditional wings, plus homemade slaw, your favorite side, and a roll, all for just $16.99. Don't forget, kids eat free all day, every day at Frickers. So bring the whole family for great food, family fun, and all the sports action you crave. At your home for fun, food, sports, and spirits, Frickers.
This is a special notice to U.S. taxpayers owing $10,000 or more to the IRS. Tax Relief Advocates is urgently notifying taxpayers that tax relief initiatives are now available that may significantly reduce or eliminate what you owe. If you're afraid of an IRS lien, levy, or wage garnishment, don't lose hope. You can now take advantage of these current relief programs to end all collections, reduce the amount you owe, and resolve your tax problem. Even if you have years of unfiled tax returns or are already in a payment plan, you may still qualify for significant relief. Struggling taxpayers can now get relief they need during these hard economic times. A hotline has been established by Tax Relief Advocates for you to call and see what you qualify for. They are A+ rated with the BBB and have over 1,000 5-star reviews. Don't wait. Call 800-575-9087. 800-575-9087. That's 800-575-9087 or simply visit TRA.com.
If you need new roofing, siding or gutters, skylights or patio enclosures, if you're a homeowner or business and need someone you can trust, don't take a chance. Enhance with Lance. Lance Roofing and Siding has been satisfying customers since 1993 and hold an A+ rating with the Better Business Bureau. See Lance Roofing and Siding at their new location at 6903 Dayton Springfield Road in Enon. Call for a free estimate at 864-2722. That's 864-2722. Online at lanceroofing.com.
From the FIFA World Cup to competitive business environments, grand ambitions lead to game-changing achievements. At Bank of America, we're there to support businesses at every step, providing insights and expertise to help you gain an edge.
He shoots, he scores.
What would you like the power to do? Explore winning business solutions at BofA.com/game changers. Bank of America, official bank of the FIFA World Cup 2026.
Hey everybody, it's Stephen A. Smith, and everyone knows my feelings on Cowboys fans. But really, Justin Kenner, you're a Cowboys fan and a Browns fan? Good Lord have mercy. I don't know what the hell to do with y'all. I really don't.
Exactly, Stephen A. He's been here for 10 years, and we're still trying to figure him out. The Justin Kenner Show, weekdays at 3 p.m., right here on 1410 ESPN Radio. Now, back to the Justin Kenner Show, right here on ESPN Dayton, 1410 Wing AM.
All right, everybody, we welcome you back here on a Tuesday. The Justin Kenner Show presented by Frickers. Frickers, your home for fun, food, sports, and spirits. 937-518-1410. 518-1410. That is the number that you can call into the show, or you can text that same number, and I'll respond to your messages here on the show. Look, it was a brief, short open. I just, for a while, I started to feel guilty. Like, man, why do I not care about the World Cup? Do I hate my country? Started questioning myself. And then I was like, no, I don't hate my country. I just hate soccer. And then I was like, oh, no, that's totally normal to hate soccer. And then I just went on with my life. And that's why last night I didn't get invested into the USA game. I couldn't. I don't know why. I mean, if USA won, great. Go team, go country. But what do you, I mean, we and then so many people are angry, man. USA, why are they so bad at soccer? I don't know. And here's the important part: I don't care. That's the thing. We pretend to care so much about soccer, but yet the second that the World Cup is done, this country will go on ignoring the sport. It just will. It will. I know. Look, there's FC Cincinnati, very popular. Heard nothing but great things about the atmosphere at those matches. Obviously got the crew over in Columbus. There are soccer fans in this country. I can acknowledge that. But there are lacrosse fans. There are chess fans. There are fans. If you put checkers on ESPN, people would sit. There would be, not a lot, but there would be select people that would sit down to watch checkers on ESPN. There are fans of everything. But there's not enough fans to sway an entire country's popularity percentage of a particular sport. I just can't. It is what it is. I can't get into it. I'm angry today, it seems like, because I spent for the last couple of weeks just nothing but pure guilt. Am I not American? What is wrong with me? Why do I not care about Team USA soccer team? What is wrong with there's nothing wrong with me. It's just soccer. I don't like soccer. It bores me. It bores me to tears. Okay? It just does. I can't get into it. Sorry. Hockey, I'm not a big hockey fan, but I could sit down and watch hockey before I would watch 10 hours of hockey before a minute of soccer. It just is what it is. I'm not judging you for liking it, but when I have people blowing up mad at me because I'm not talking World Cup, well, guess what? The joke's on you. This is me talking World Cup. Very professional on my end. I get it, but that's where I'm at. I'm Justin Kenner. It's the Justin Kenner Show here on 1410 ESPN Radio. But I have to ask, are there other people like me out there that no matter how hard you tried, you just couldn't get into it? And are there other people out there like me who, because you have coworkers who are so much into it, or friends who are into it? By the way, I have friends that are into the World Cup that I had no idea like soccer. I saw some friends over the holiday weekend that were just soccer this, soccer that. Did you see this player do this? No, never heard of that player. Didn't know it existed. And then now when I see that friend next time, we'll go back to, talking normal sports, about the NFL, about LeBron, about how much we can't stand the Castellinis owning the Reds, normal stuff. So there has to be others out there like me who just, no matter how hard you tried, you just couldn't get into it. And I need to know that there are others like me. And if not, I'm going to be very lonely on this island. 937-518-1410. You can call or text. And if you wholeheartedly disagree with me, that is more than fine. I understand it. Damon Hahn. What up, Damon? Damon says, I can't get into the Olympics either. Yeah. Like I said, so when we watch Team USA in basketball, That's not fake to me. We're tuning in and we're watching the NBA's biggest stars come together to go try and win gold representing our country. But the thing is, those players already have such a massive fan base. And when basketball ends in the Olympics, guess what? So, the popularity of the sport doesn't. The fans don't disappear for 4 years. Those fans follow those players. Everyone. It's not like this. Everyone's pretending to be a soccer fan. I can't. I just can't. Thanks, but no thanks, as far as that goes. All right, Hunter Green over the weekend made his 2026 season debut. Look, Hunter Green is, I've had a lot of hot takes regarding Hunter Green coming into this season. There's no doubt that Hunter Green is one of the best pitchers in baseball. There was no doubt heading into last offseason that he is the ace, that he is their number one pitcher. I have a lot of doubt now that he is their best pitcher, and I have a lot of doubt that he is their number one ace. I just don't think that he is. However, still elite pitcher, still one of the best pitchers in baseball. That's more of a compliment to what I believe is Chase Burns being the best Reds pitcher as far as that's concerned. I'm all about Chase Burns. Chase Burns is going to make a lot of decisions for the Reds easier and not harder moving forward. And Hunter Green is back. Hunter Green has a couple years left on this contract, and Hunter Green has yet to spend he has yet to go through a season with the Reds, whether in the minor leagues or here, where he has not spent at least 1 month on the IL. Every year, this cat takes a month-long plus vacation throughout the NFL or throughout the Major League Baseball season. It is frustrating. No one is doubting how good Hunter Green is. No one is doubting what he means to this team and definitely what he means to this rotation. What everyone is doubting is can this cat stay healthy? He's always banged up. He's always injured. Now, we did get a chance to see Hunter Green make his return over the weekend. All right. There were fireworks. I mean, he first start of the season, he gets rocked. His ERA is sitting right now at 21. All right. He did strike out 6 in just over 3 innings of work, but it wasn't a lot of work. I mean, 1 out. I mean, he goes into the 4th inning, he gets 1 out and gets taken out. 8 earned runs. He gave up 8 earned runs on 7 hits. Like I said, he did strike out 7. He walked 4. I mean, he was walking a lot of batters, gave up a ton of hits, gave up a ton of runs in a short amount of time. Now, is that who Hunter Green is? Heck no. I don't really care that he had a rough outing to in his return. When you're coming off that type of surgery, okay, he's not really in complete control yet. He doesn't really completely trust that arm yet. I trust that Hunter Green is an elite pitcher. I know that. I don't trust that he is going to get hurt again and spend another month-long plus time on the IL. That's always my biggest gripe when it comes to Hunter Green. I put this out on the Facebook page, okay, because August 3rd, on the Justin Kinner Show Facebook page, okay, August 3rd is the Major League Baseball trade deadline, okay? And there's a lot of decisions that the Reds have to make between now and then. There's a lot of decisions that the Reds have to make between now and then. And so many people are very opinionated on what the Reds should do. In fact, there's a lot of people are confused on what the Reds should do. I've seen multiple articles from ESPN that have come out, and they kind of go through each team in baseball and talk about whether they should be buyers or sellers. And the Reds seem to be a team that's kind of stuck in limbo. They have enough pieces that they can give away. Not give away, but that they can move on from and try to get something in return. But then they also have some assets that I think could help them in the short term and the long term by being moved as well. Like, for instance, to go back to my first point, like if you want to move on from an Eugenio Suarez, that's not going to cost you anything. My patience with him is worn out. I was a big Suarez defender. I'm here to also say this, might be controversial to some. I don't believe that it was the wrong decision to get Eugenio Suarez in the offseason. I don't think it was wrong. This team needed a power hitter. This cat hit almost 50 home runs last season. He was the best remaining home run hitting free agent left. And the Reds got him on a cheap deal. I don't think it was a wrong move. I really don't. They had to do something that was the right move to get him. It just hasn't worked. I blame Eugenio Suarez. I don't blame the Reds. I blame Nick Crawford a lot. I blame the Reds front office for a lot. Terry Francona hasn't been perfect at managing this year, obviously, right? But And you guys know my stance on this. I get so tired of people right away when a player doesn't play well, blaming Nick Krall. How about you blame the player? How about you blame Suarez? Can you imagine if Suarez a year ago at this time, he was close to, he was about 24, 25 home runs into the season. A year ago at this time. How much better would this Reds team be with 10 to 15 additional home runs just from one player? How many one-run games have they lost that would have been a difference maker in? And that's a big deal. Look, the Reds are 7 games under 500 right now. The division means nothing. They're 15 games back in the division, but they are 7 games back in the wild card. 1-2 more of those games to get back is a big deal. The Reds keep falling further and further back. 15 games back in the division is the furthest back in the division that they have been all season. 7 games back in the wild card is also the furthest back in that playoff picture and that playoff race that they've been all season. That matters. At some point, you got to stop getting mad at Nick Krall, and you got to look at the player and say, this is on you. I blame Suarez, okay? So Suarez is one of those pieces that you can give away. You're not going to get anything of substance in return. You're just not. People, they throw out all these names that they want to see the Reds move on from, but I'm like, okay, you move on from them, and then what? The reason that I'm actually okay if the Reds do not move on from Eugenio Suarez at the deadline is because I don't think that anything you get for him will not be very valuable to begin with. And I think that the chance of him popping off in the back half of the season, I think, is something that you need to count on and not just give away. If you give him away, you have nobody that has the potential to pop off like that, right? If you keep him, it's not like, oh my God, we could have had that prospect over there. No one's giving up anything of substance for Eugenio Suarez. They're just not. Okay. So I think that rather than just give him away, I think you have someone that has the potential to get hot with the bat in his hand. I wouldn't move on from Suarez for that very reason. But like a lot of these names, like Suarez and others, you want to get rid of. And I'm like, get rid of for what? You're going to get peanuts. All right. When I think of a team that's in a seller's market, I think of the names I think of that can help. Like if you're going to move on from names at the deadline, move on from names that are actually going to help you. If you want to move on from Nick Lodolo, I'm fine with that. Nick Lodolo is the name that you move because you're going to get something in return. All right. JJ Bleday, 3 weeks ago, I would have said, yes, is a good trade candidate. I like Bleday because, for one, it looked like he was a consistent power hitter for the Reds, and they had him under cheap team control for the next 2 years. But now I'm like, you know what? Move on from him. But again, move on from JJ Bleday. What are you going to get for him? He hasn't hit a home run since June 15th. Okay, he hasn't hit a home run in weeks. Okay, he's water found its level with him. So once again, every one of you Reds fans out there, trade Suarez, trade Emilio Pagan. I think Emilio Pagan has more value to the Reds on the roster than away. What are you going to get for Pagan? We know what Pagan is capable of, but he hasn't done anything this season to warrant a strong return. So for the Reds who need bullpen help, it wasn't a bad signing. It just wasn't. Pagan was really, really good last year. And we can't, when the Reds did bring Pagan back, everyone was excited about that. Fans loved it. So to me, the Reds made a decision based on the information they had at the time. Here's how he performed last year. Here's the role he had last year. Here's the role we envisioned for him this year and years to come. So we're going to bring him back. It was the right move. It just hasn't been the right result, which is why blame Pagan, blame Suarez. Stop blaming, all right, Terry Francona. Stop blaming Nick Krall. Blame the players. But if you trade Pagan away, no one's going to give up anything of substance because he hasn't pitched well enough to get it. Maybe Pagan gets hot and starts being a dominant closer for you and fills that void. On your roster, you have a chance for that. Sending him away for prospects that won't play for 2 or 3 years doesn't do anything. So if you're not going to get anything of substance in return, don't they have more value to you to take a chance on for the rest of the season than just giving him away for crappy prospects? You know what I mean? Like, maybe I'm wrong, but that's where I'm at. I don't want to see the Reds give Pagan away just to give him away. Well, he hasn't worked for us. We're just giving him away. I don't like that. I don't like that because you're going to get nothing in return, and you're just getting rid of him to get rid of him. Same thing with Suarez. If you're going to trade a player, Trade a player that is going to get you something in return that could either help you now or in the future or both. Nick Lodolo, to me, does that. Andrew Abbott, to me, does that. And the next name that does that, Hunter Green, does that. Those are the names you shop. Those are the names that you try to, if you're going to be sellers at the deadline, you're not just selling to sell. You want to, if you're going to take the time to go through all the offers and all this stuff, like I think that Andrew Abbott brings you a strong return. Nick Lodolo brings you a strong return. Hunter Green and Nick Lodolo, especially those two, bring you great returns. Like those are the ones you dangle out there. The Reds rotation is very solid. Pitching in their system has actually been very solid from a rotation standpoint. And Chase Burns, the emergence of Chase Burns to me, all right, it puts the Reds in a position where I think you can move on from Hunter Green and it won't sting. It won't sting. Hunter Green hurts you more than he helps you every year. He hurts you more than he helps you every year. You guys think of how great of a pitcher he is when he's on the mound, but listen to what I just said there. When he's on the mound, he hurts you more than he helps you. We just watched this Reds rotation look like one of the most solid rotations in baseball without him for 2 months. Him coming back does what? I'm not saying it's a bad thing he's back, but him coming back does what? This team needs bats. They need guys that can hit. Hunter Green can help this Reds team more off the roster than on. I think that Hunter Green can get you prospects, AAA prospects that are within a season of being called up to be legitimate good hitters. That's what the Reds need. Or get a proven veteran MLB player that can hit you, that can get you 30 to 40 home runs. Hunter Green has the value to get that for you. And guess what? You trade Hunter Green away. Oh my God, what are we going to do? You have Chase Burns, you have Rhett Lauder, you have Andrew Abbott, you have Nick Lodolo. Okay, Brady Singer, you can move on from him. Like the Reds will have to still find replacements for some, but the rotation's not the problem. This team can't hit. They can't score runs consistently enough. And the bullpen needs more help too. So, like I said, I see everyone have these hot takes about what they should do, what they should not do at the deadline. I think it's wrong to move on from Suarez and others. You're not going to get anything. You're just not. You will not. Like, to me, like I said, what happens if after the deadline the Reds catch fire? Okay? What happens if they catch fire and Suarez gets hot and he starts hitting home runs left and right? That's what you brought him here for, right? At least if you keep him, he gives you that chance to have someone get hot and help you. You trade him away for some low-A prospect that's not going to help you for years. What does that do? It doesn't do anything. And you could say, well, that prospect could turn into something. Again, we're talking about a low-priority prospect for an organization. You think anyone's giving up a prospect of substance for Eugenio Suarez, who is not good right now? Same thing for Pagan. Hey, give us one of your top 5 prospects for Emilio Pagan. That ain't going to happen. They will do that for Lodolo. They will do that for Hunter Green, possibly Andrew Abbott. That's where I'm at. That's where I'm at. I'm Justin Kinner. It's the Justin Kinner Show right here on 1410 ESPN Radio. I am curious your guys' thoughts. 937-518-1410. I see in the chat on the Justin Kinner Show Facebook page, I see Kenny. What up, Kenny? I see Colton. I see Floyd. Spoon, how are you doing, sir? I'm going to get to your responses when we come back. Plus, I'll open up the text line as well to see what you guys have going on in there. Or you can give me a call, 937-518-1410. I'm not opposed to the Reds being sellers at the deadline, but be careful what you move on from. There is a way that you can bolster and help this team now and in the future. But you got to give yourself a chance. There's not going to be a season next year. Try to be aggressive. Like this second half of the season should be looked at as next season because there's not going to be a next season. So give the fans something to feel good about in this back half. I'm very interested to see what the Reds do over this next month. 937-518-1410. You're the Reds GM. What are you doing at the deadline? We're less than a month away. 937-518-1410. More of the Justin Kinner Show when we come back.
Are you an adult with uncontrolled moderate to severe Crohn's disease symptoms and still packing a backup bag of clothes just in case? Skyrizi Risankizumab Riza can help you take control of your Crohn's. Feel significant symptom relief, including less abdominal pain and fewer bowel movements at 4 weeks. Plus, Skyrizi is proven to help people achieve remission and visibly improve damage of the intestinal lining. Individual results may vary. Skyrizi is a prescription injection medicine. Don't use if allergic to Skyrizi. Serious allergic reactions, increased infections, or lower ability to fight them may occur. Before treatment, get checked for infections and tuberculosis. Tell your doctor about any flu-like symptoms or vaccines. Liver problems leading to hospitalization may occur when treated for Crohn's. Ready to take control of your Crohn's? Ask your doctor about Skyrizi, the #1 prescribed biologic in Crohn's disease.
Control is everything to me.
Learn more at skyrizi.com or call 1-866-SKY-RIZZY.
On BritBox, there is a place where stories twist like cobblestone roads, grand manners hide secrets, and stakes are higher than seaside cliffs. Find places worth getting lost in on BritBox. Watch new series like The Other Bennett Sister from the world of Jane Austen and A Woman of Substance starring Golden Globe winner Brenda Blethyn. If you want to get away, you're in the right place. Stream the best of British TV on BritBox. Free trial at BritBox.com.
Save big money at Menards. Keep your lawn looking its best with Menards Premium 4-Step Fertilizer Program. Each step is tailor-made for the time of the season. Apply Step 3 lawn food in mid to late summer for deep greening and feed your lawn for up to 8 weeks. Stop by our garden center and save big money on Menards Premium Lawn Food Fertilizer. Plus, check out our weekly flyer for more great deals happening this week.
Save big money at Menards.
For some people, pain doesn't just hurt your body, it takes everything. That was Jay for 15 years.
I spent more time laying down in bed because even sitting on chairs hurt. I couldn't walk around, couldn't stand up straight. My pain got so bad, I was running out of hope, not just in treatment, but in life in general.
Then, just like you're doing right now, Jay heard a radio commercial right here in Dayton that led him to QC Kinetics and their regenerative treatments that go beyond masking pain.
Within an hour or two after the treatments, I felt like, 70% of what I was feeling was just sort of dissolved.
From surviving to living again. For Jay, that changed everything.
I'm able to do things. I get a chance to play with my grandkids. I'm physically not in that pain anymore because of QC Kinetics.
If you've been living in pain, this is your moment. Call QC Kinetics now for your free consultation. 937-936-0325. That's 937-936-0325.
Cool cars, cool people, good tires. Get ready for the biggest and best automotive happening of the year. The Good Guys 28th Summit Racing Nationals presented by Grundy Insurance. Over 6,000 classes shop the swap meet in Huge Fender Midway. See which ride takes home the crown of the Good Guys 2026 Forge Line Street Machine and Classic Instrument Street Rod of the Year. All this weekend at the newly renovated Ohio Expo Center in Columbus. Details at good-guys.com.
I'm U.S. Transportation Secretary Sean Duffy. The sound of a seatbelt. It's one of the most important sounds in our car. It means everyone is ready and everyone is safe. The more our kids see us put on our seatbelts, the more natural it is for them to put theirs on too. Make it a priority. Buckle up every time. Hear the sound? Make it a habit.
Paid for by NHTSA.
Hi, this is Michael, your service manager at Dave Arbogast Buick GMC in Troy, Ohio. I am inviting you to give us an opportunity to earn your business. We have expanded our hours to better meet your needs. We are now open until 6 p.m. during the week and 8 a.m. until 2 p.m. on Saturdays. We service all makes and models. We offer convenient shuttle service as well as pickup and delivery. Please visit us on the web at arbogastbuickgmc.com or in person. Exit 69 on I-75. Look for the giant American flag. I hope to see you soon.
When you've thrown over 4,000 innings like I have, you know joint pain isn't a maybe, it's a guarantee. For you, was it climbing ladders or too much heavy lifting? Hey, we're all in the same boat. But surgery, that was never my answer.
Baseball legend Roger Clemens knows there's a better way. That's QC Kinetics regenerative treatments that help your body heal itself. No scalpels, no fake fixes, just real relief.
What I love about QC Kinetics, these are the most respected medical pros in the country that specialize in non-surgical therapies to get you moving again.
Don't mask the pain, fix it. Call QC Kinetics now for a free consultation.
I trusted QC Kinetics. You should too.
Call QC Kinetics today and schedule your free consultation.
Call QC Kinetics, 937-936-0325. That's 937-936-0325. 937-936-0325.
Now, back to the Justin Kinner Show, right here on ESPN Dayton, 1410 Wing AM.
The Reds are 15 games back in the division, 7 games under 500, and 7 games back in the National League wildcard picture. Reds back at it tonight, though, after an off day yesterday. They dropped 2 or 3 over the weekend and look to get it going against the Phillies here. Phillies 50-41, and of course they bring in Kyle Schwarber. And I think that's going to be a tough pill to swallow. How about Kyle Schwarber? 30 home runs, 55 RBIs. How cool would that have been to have? I think that could have helped a couple of the Reds' problems. Not saying they would be in first place in the division, but definitely don't think they'd be 15 games back in the division. And I don't think they'd be 7 games back in the wild card. I think he would have solved a lot of the Reds' problems. I also don't like when people do the whole either or. We could have had Schwarber. Instead, we had Suarez. You could have had both. You could have had both, but I know that's not realistic as far as that goes. Colton Schmidt on the Justin Kinner Show Facebook page says last year it was blame the ownership and the front office. This year it's blame the players. Reds fans sound like a broken record. No, actually, I don't think Reds fans are blaming the players enough. What Reds fans and all sports fans do this. It's always blame the ownership, blame the GM. And I'm not defending the ownership and I'm not defending the GM, but the Reds needed a power hitter and they went out in free agency and got the second best power hitter in free agency last year. Why was getting Suarez a bad move? It wasn't a bad move. Suarez is just bad right now, and it's his fault. It's not Nick Kral's fault. Brad Meter, the actual GM, Brad Meter has the cushiest job ever. Everyone, poor Nick Krall. Nick Krall gets blamed for absolutely everything. Brad Meter's the GM, but director of baseball operations is Nick Krall, president of baseball operations, whatever. But yeah, like that's on Suarez. Oh, man, Nick Krall. I can't believe he gave Emilio Pagan. Emilio Pagan was phenomenal last year for the Reds. In fact, one of the biggest concerns about the Reds heading into last offseason was that, oh, man, they're going to lose Emilio Pagan. He's going to go get paid somewhere. And the Reds paid him. So what you were mad at for the Reds last year, not having Emilio Pagan, they keep Emilio Pagan, and you get mad at that. At some point, you got to look at Emilio Pagan and say, get your head out of your ass, dude. Like, it's on you. Suarez, what are you doing? What is it about? Like, why can you swing the bat everywhere else, but something? What do you do in Cincinnati that you're just not good? That's why I got mad when people blamed the Reds years ago for trading Suarez. What you would do is you forgot about Suarez for a bit, and then you saw Suarez pop up on All-Star ballots, and you started saying that, oh my God, he's hitting 50, 60, 50, 55 home runs every season, and oh man, that would have been nice in Cincinnati. You're right. It would have been nice. That wasn't on Nick Krall. That wasn't on Dick Williams back in the day. That wasn't on Walt Jocketty back in the day. That was on Eugenio Suarez. My nickname for him at the tail end of his first stint in Cincinnati, I kept saying Eugenio for 4, and he ho for 5, and he ho for 6. The dude just couldn't hit in Cincinnati. So I never blamed the Reds front office for moving on from Suarez. He sucked. And then he became really, really good. And he was really, really good for the Reds to start. Then he was really bad. That's when the Reds moved on. Then he became really, really good again. And the Reds brought him back. And he's good everywhere else except here. That's not on Terry Francona. That's not on Nick Krall. That's not on the Reds front office. It's just not. That is on Suarez and Suarez alone. I'm not defending the front office. The front office needs to be blamed for things. Yes. But to me, if you go back to what did the Reds need to attack this offseason? They needed a power hitter. They went and got one. Well, they got the wrong one. He nearly hit 50 home runs last year. I wanted Schwarber. It should have been Schwarber. And I criticized the Reds for not getting Schwarber. But I also, just like you and a lot of Reds fans, we were super excited when we heard Suarez was coming back. We thought, all right, that's going to be enough to kind of push this team, to that next level from where they were last year. It hasn't, because that's not the Suarez that the Reds thought they were signing. In fact, the Suarez they signed is the Suarez that they moved on from years ago. The Suarez that they thought they were signing was the Suarez that he turned into when he leaves Cincinnati. I don't know what it is about Cincinnati that once he puts that Reds uniform on, he can't hit. I don't get it. But that's not on Nick Krall. That's not on anybody but Suarez and Suarez alone. He has underachieved since arriving back in Cincinnati this season. He has hurt the Reds more than a lot of guys have hurt the Reds. He's hurt the Reds more than anything. Because you look at the season that Sal Stewart is having, you look at the season that Elly De La Cruz is having, you look at that, and they need more. I get it, but like if Suarez was having the type of season that he should have been having based on expectations of what he's done in recent years, that would have complemented those two perfectly. This team would be in a much different spot than what they're in right now. There's a lot of blame to go around. I put a lot of blame on Suarez's lap. I really do. I really do. So with the deadline coming up on August 3rd, I threw out the question in the last part of the show, what would you do at the deadline? Would this team be a buyer's team or a seller's team? And, I'm not a big fan of the idea of going to be a buyer, but I do believe sometimes the right move is to do nothing. And if you're going to do something, you need to do something like aggressive. And a lot of you out there trade JJ Bleday, trade Eugenio Suarez. That's not something. You're not going to get anything for Suarez. You're not really going to get anything back for Bleday. No one out there is a JJ Bleday away from a World Series or an NL or AL championship appearance. They're just not. Definitely with what we've seen from Suarez, no one's a Suarez away from anything. So what are you going to get in return? You want to know the pieces that the Reds have that they need to consider trading that would do that for teams? There could be teams out there who are Hunter Green away from getting to a World Series. There could be teams out there who are a Nick Lodolo away from maybe going a round further in the postseason. I think Nick Lodolo, if you're going to trade someone of value. Andrew Abbott, Nick Lodolo, Hunter Green, and not all three of them, by the way. Those are the guys you trade. And Hunter Green, you're probably saying, what are you talking about? Here's the deal. I would love to see a stretch of Hunter Green and Chase Burns in this rotation pitch consistently. But the 2027 season is not going to happen. You have Hunter Green through 2029. So you're not going to so a lot of people, and I saw people make the same argument about Elly De La Cruz. Ellie's a little different. But this team you need to try to find a way to get players to help you win with Elly now, even if you only have Elly for a few more years. You have enough pitching that you can move on from Hunter Green. Hunter Green can bring you a return to get a couple capable pieces that can help this lineup while complementing the pitching and move forward in a competitive way. But you're not going to have a 2027 season. So you're going to enter 2028 with Hunter Green, and you're going to have to really consider trading him at the deadline that year or in the offseason. So you technically only have one more year with Hunter Green left because you're not going to give him an extension. You're just not. He's not going to give a friendly deal like he did last time, and the Reds aren't going to want to pay it. You have Chase Burns. So I would dangle Hunter Green out there and see what you can get. I think Hunter Green can get you elite top level AAA prospects that are on the verge of being called up to help win right away, or can get you proven MLB power hitters, defensive players, outfielders, something, or a combination of both. I want an all-star outfielder, a power hitting all-star outfielder, and a couple of your top prospects for 2.5 years, 3 years of Hunter Green. That's what I would ask for. And that's what they should get. That's why, to me, Hunter Green, I'm wondering if we are embarking on the final couple of appearances for Hunter Green in a Reds uniform. I don't want that, but it's necessary. He's not reliable. Every season since being drafted by the Reds, and it was one of the Reds. It will go down as one of the best draft picks in the history of the Reds organization. I mean, it was one of the biggest gets in the world when the Reds actually drafted him and paid him, because the baseball draft is a little different than other drafts. Just because you draft him doesn't mean they're yours. You could draft a player and they could just say, "Now I'm going to go back to," it's not, it's a little different, or he said, "I'm not going to play for you," or whatever. It gets a little dicey. So the Reds got Hunter Green. That was big time. That was huge. Didn't work out. I mean, it worked out, but it's not working out with his health. I'd send him somewhere. Like the Dodgers could give up a lot of stuff for him because, oh man, if he spends a month or two on the IL, guess what? They have 5 other Cy Young caliber pitchers that will do just fine in his absence. So, but the Reds, when you have a star player like that, you need them to be available. Ellie's available. I know he just got back after a month on the IL, but Ellie doesn't miss games, right? Chase Burns, knock on wood, he doesn't get hurt. Knock on wood. So Sal Stewart, he's a bulldog, man. Like he gets it done. This team, you guys want them to blow it up. I don't. Hunter Green is not them blowing it up. Hunter Green can help this team win by not being here because they can get the strongest return for him. They can get an all-star outfielder and some prospects, and that can help them win now and compete now and help them for the future because you also have Nick Lodolo, you also have Andrew Abbott, you also have Rhett Lauder, you have the arms, and Chase Burns, as I mentioned, and other arms coming up through the system. I'm Justin Kinner. It's the Justin Kinner Show right here on Dayton's ESPN Radio, 1410 Wing AM, 937-518-1410. You can call or text. Spoon, Mr. Spoon, I hope you're well. Spoon says Lodolo, Lauder, Rodriguez, Collier, Arroyo to the Royals for Bobby Witt, and some others. That's 2 young pitchers, 2 young minor leaguers, and Arroyo for Witt. But here's the problem, Spoon, is when you want to get like a superstar like that in return, the Reds can't afford a superstar. You know what I mean? Like, so I get what you're saying with Bobby Witt, but I mean, who wouldn't love Bobby Witt? But it doesn't make sense for the Reds. It just doesn't. It makes sense. Don't get me wrong, but it doesn't make sense based on how we know the team operates. That won't happen. The Reds would have to get an all-star outfielder, not a superstar outfielder, but an all-star outfielder with some prospects, top prospects, to move on from Hunter Green. But the Reds need to do it. Hunter Green is the key to the Reds' immediate and long-term success. And it does not involve him in the Reds. And it's because of Chase Burns. Chase Burns emerging as a star the way he has, it makes it easier for the Reds to make that decision. Because the Reds' pitching staff was pretty solid without Chase Burns last year, right? But if you move on from Hunter Green, you have a good Nick Lodolo, you have a good Andrew Abbott, you have a good Rhett Lauder. You know what I mean? Like you have good... But Chase Burns is your ace. He's your number 1 pitcher. He's your get-out-of-jail-free card. He is your, okay, we can move on from Hunter Green, and we're still going to have Chase Burns complemented by Lodolo, Abbott, and others. That's where I'm at. So, yeah. But Spoon, I love you listening. Appreciate you interacting. Hope to see you perform soon, by the way. But nonetheless, it's the Justin Kinner Show, 1410 ESPN Radio. Reds, Phillies tonight. A lot's been made. And by the way, on the mound tonight will be Andrew Abbott and Zach Wheeler will be on the mound for the Phillies. But a lot's being made about Kyle Schwarber today. Oh, man, I guess a reporter had asked Kyle Schwarber, hey, do you think the Reds fans are going to boo you? And his response was, I mean, he didn't really know what to say. He goes, he's never got a warm reception in Cincinnati anyways. And people said, oh, see, now he's taking shots at the Reds fans. No, he's not. The reason he never got a warm reception in Cincinnati anyways is because, for one, no one ever thought that the Reds had a legit shot to get him until he started making those comments at the All-Star game last year. He spent the majority of his career in Chicago for the hated Cubs. So he was always going to get booed coming in with the Cubs. So he wasn't taking a shot at the Reds. So what he's saying is he doesn't think his appearance in Cincinnati this weekend or this week is going to be any different than any other stop. Reds, we wanted him. We didn't get him. I'm a little annoyed because Kyle Schwarber should know this. He knows about the Reds front office the way that we do. Why is it that all the Reds fans knew that they didn't have a chance to get Kyle Schwarber except Kyle Schwarber? Did Kyle Schwarber not know that they were cheap, or not really a cheap, but they weren't an aggressive organization? They weren't going to be super aggressive in trying to pursue him? Right? Like, I don't know. But the Kyle Schwarber tonight, by the way, over under, leave it in the chat. Over under 2 home runs this series. Over under 2 home runs this series for Kyle Schwarber. I think that it's going to be painful. Every home, I think he's going to hit 2 or more home runs this series, and I think it's going to be painful. It's going to be rubbing salt in the wound. I think it's going to be tough. It's going to be tough. The Reds have 6 games left this first half of the season. 3 against the Phillies. in 3 against the Chicago Cubs, all at Great American Ballpark. So we'll see what ends up happening. But man, oh man, Kyle Schwarber hitting 233 on the season. Look, Kyle Schwarber is doing the stuff that we thought Suarez was going to do. Like Kyle Schwarber with 30 home runs. I really don't truly believe that Suarez could have had 30 home runs, but 25 home runs-ish in that range, I think, is a fair expectation. But, we didn't expect Suarez to hit for average. Schwarber doesn't hit for average. Schwarber strikes out a lot. So does Suarez. But, that's kind of where we're at. But 55 RBIs for Kyle Schwarber, 30 home runs. I mean, he leads baseball and with the most home runs heading into the All-Star break. That's going to be tough. Over, under, leave it in the chat, 937-518, or you can text. Over, under 2 home runs for Kyle Schwarber at Great American Ballpark this week. He's in the lineup tonight, and he's going up against the Reds, Kyle Schwarber. It's the Justin Kinner Show, Dayton's ESPN Radio, 1410 Wing AM.
Hello, it's John Kozik, founder and president of TurboTrack Realty, and I buy real estate as is, fast for cash. Give us a call today for an all-cash offer at 614-470-2000, 614-470-2000. I buy vacant properties, inherited homes, divorce situations, death in the family, apartment buildings, commercial properties. I even buy my tenants won't pay me the rent houses. Give us a call today for an all-cash offer at 614-470-2000, 614-470-2000.
As a fitness coach, my active psoriatic arthritis can slow me down. With Skyrizi, risankizumab Riza, I'm treating my skin and joint symptoms so I can keep moving. Skyrizi, a prescription-only injection for adults, helps me move with less joint pain, stiffness, swelling, and fatigue. And for those who have plaque psoriasis, 90% clearer skin is possible. With Skyrizi, there's no daily dosing. It's just 4 doses a year after 2 starter doses.
Don't use if allergic to Skyrizi. Serious allergic reactions, increased infections, or lower ability to fight them may occur. Before treatment, get checked for infections and tuberculosis. Tell your doctor about any flu-like symptoms or vaccines.
Thanks to Skyrizi, there's nothing like clearer skin and better movement. And that means everything. Ask your doctor about Skyrizi. Visit Skyrizi.com or call 1-866-SKY-RIZI to learn more.
I'm U.S. Transportation Secretary Sean Duffy. We all get distracted when we drive, whether it's from our phones or kids in the backseat bickering. But how we handle these distractions can be a matter of life or death. Before you get on the road for your next road trip, please put your phones on silent and take a mental note to focus on driving.
Paid for by NHTSA.
A is for ABS, B is for BCM, C is for CVT, D is for, don't worry, we're not going to quiz you, because at Carroll Works Tire, we know the auto industry is full of acronyms. But here's the one that matters the most, tire. Trust, integrity, reliability, expertise. Carroll Works Tire, keeping Dayton rolling from A to Z. Find us online at c-wtire.com or talk to a real human at 937-461-5441.
With Progressive's Name Your Price tool, you can choose the best coverage option for you. Because you know you. Like, you know you can't cook. You're not one of those people who say that they can, but when people come over for dinner, they find out the hard way, you can't. You can't even microwave popcorn, and that's literally just one button. Plus, measuring and patience are huge parts of cooking, and that's just not you. Only you know you. So get coverage options within your budget with Progressive's Name Your Price tool. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates. Pricing coverage match limited by state law.
On BritBox, there is a place where stories twist like cobblestone roads, grand manners hide secrets, and stakes are higher than seaside cliffs. Find places worth getting lost in on BritBox. Watch a new series like The Other Bennett Sister from the world of Jane Austen and A Woman of Substance starring Golden Globe winner Brenda Blethyn. If you want to get away, you're in the right place. Stream the best of British TV on BritBox. Free trial at BritBox.com.
Cordell Transportation is looking for more weekend warriors. If you have a Class A CDL and would like to make some extra money casually driving weekend daytime routes, then Cordell Transportation is looking for you. Home daily, all loads round trip, no touch freight, and competitive pay. Full-time routes could become available if you're interested. Drive weekends at Cordell Transportation. Apply at CordellTransportation.com or call Ron at 937-277-7271. Cordell Transportation, driven to succeed.
Oh, my house needs some help. It needs a new roof, new windows, and siding if I can afford it. I just don't know who to call. Your house is updated and looks so nice. Who does your work?
Buckeye Home Services does all my work. Their prices are affordable and they do a great job. Call 586-6600 for a free estimate. Buckeye does roofing, siding, gutters, leaf guards, windows, doors, patio covers, even kitchens and baths.
Sounds like they're the ones to call. What's that number again?
Buckeye Home Services, 586-6600.
Open the door to big savings when you shop at Menards. Mastercraft has been making high-quality doors for more than 50 years. From a modern front door to traditional interior doors. Design your door your way with our free step-by-step design program. And get your new door in 7 days or less. Save big money on Mastercraft doors. Plus, check out our weekly flyer on Menards.com for all the great deals happening now.
Save big money at Menards.
Hey everybody, it's Stephen A. Smith, and everyone knows my feelings on Cowboys fans. But really, Justin Kenner, you're a Cowboys fan and a Browns fan? Good Lord have mercy. I don't know what the hell to do with y'all. I really don't.
Exactly, Stephen A. He's been here for 10 years, and we're still trying to figure him out. The Justin Kenner Show, weekdays at 3 p.m., right here on 1410 ESPN Radio. Now, back to the Justin Kenner Show, right here on ESPN Dayton, 1410 Wing AM.
937-518-1410. That's the number to call or text as we kick off hour number 2. It's the Justin Kenner Show presented by Frickers. We are Dayton's radio home for Reds baseball. Reds and Phillies coming up later on tonight. The Reds 15 games back in the division, 7 games back in the wild card, 7 games under 500. But with 6 games remaining between now and the All-Star break, which is crazy, Reds trying to desperately find a way to at least package up some kind of momentum, some kind of energy, some kind of a reason to get you to be invested into them. So we'll see. Andrew Abbott on the mound tonight for the Reds, going up against Zach Wheeler. But I threw this out there. Kyle Schwarber, over under 2 home runs against the Reds this series. Over under 2 home runs. Not tonight, although that's probably a safe one too, but over under 2 home runs for Kyle Schwarber against the Reds this series. Eric in Middletown says he's definitely going with the over. Eric in Centerville texts in, and he says he's going to go with 2 tonight. So there you go. Erica, thank you for listening. Messages in. She says over. Matt, over. Everyone's saying over. So everyone that's texting into the show right now believes that Kyle Schwarber is going to get the over. Go over. He's going to have more than 2 home runs against the Reds this series. We'll see. Hopefully not. Nonetheless. I thought this was huge today. Everyone is on LeBron watch right now, right? But how about Donovan Mitchell doing this a year? Like there was a lot of I get it. It's Cleveland, right? And if you have a chance to leave Cleveland, unless you're like LeBron, who's from Cleveland, like there's this gravitational pull between Cleveland and LeBron, which is why many, including me, believe that LeBron will return to Cleveland. There's a gravitational pull between Cleveland and LeBron. But as far as the rest of the players in the NBA, not so much. When you are a superstar player, when you are a star player like a Donovan Mitchell, and you have a chance to get out, Donovan Mitchell had always been rumored or linked to the New York Knicks or to Brooklyn. More so the Knicks than anything. So the first chance, and remember, he didn't sign in Cleveland. He got traded to Cleveland. And this is now not first, but the second time that Donovan Mitchell has had the opportunity to get the hell out of Cleveland. And he has opted both times to stick around. Donovan Mitchell agreed to a 4-year, $273 million maximum contract extension that includes a player option in 2030. And it also has a full trade kicker, which is big for Cleveland, of course. Mitchell could have waited until next summer for an additional season worth an extra $80 million on the deal, But according to ESPN, and that was according to ESPN's Bobby Marks, which means he could have waited to sign next year for a 5-year, $353 million deal, but instead left $80 million on the table and signed for 273. And a lot of people are like, well, what are they going to, why would he do that? What are the Cavs going to do with that extra $80 million? I don't know. It doesn't, I mean, when you're signing a max contract extension, you're not, I mean, I guess you could have gone for one more year for an additional 80, but did you really do your team any favors? I mean, look, Jalen Brunson, the one thing that made Jalen Brunson so great is the fact that he had a chance to take on one of these max contracts as well and left a ton of money on the table. But that's why the Knicks were able to go out and get the stars and balance out that roster, that championship roster, the way that they did. Sometimes when you see that, you start to see a pattern and other players start to follow suit. Obviously, that's not the case here. I don't know if I necessarily count this as a hometown discount, not a hometown discount, but I don't think it was a team-friendly deal. It's a max contract. Not a bad thing for Cleveland. You get to keep your star. But the great thing about this is such a huge win for the city of Cleveland when it comes to sports. I mean, I know we saw when you look, of course, at the Cleveland Guardians, all right, and the fact that they were able to get their star player to stick around, right? The fact that they were able, to look at the star player that they have and to look at Jose Ramirez and to get him to come back. And to get him to come back on a team discounted deal, that's a big deal for Cleveland, for the Guardians, right? I think it's a massive deal for a team like the Cavaliers to have Donovan Mitchell, who had a chance to get the hell out, agree to a full, to a contract extension, not once but twice in Cleveland. That's huge for the Cavaliers. All right. I think that says a lot about where that organization has gone since, when I was a kid in the early 2000s, when I remember Ricky Davis going down to the other end of the floor, purposely missing a rebound just to get a double or a triple double or whatever. The league had to rescind it and all this, but that's how bad they were, as every man out for themselves, right? Like Cleveland was the laughing stock of the league when I was growing up until they got LeBron, and it's been all LeBron since, which makes what Cleveland has done post LeBron so much more impressive, because I feel like what Cleveland has done over the last 4 years has actually been more impressive than anything that they did with LeBron, and that includes winning the title. And here's why. Like when people talk about the Cavaliers, they don't say, man, the Cavaliers 2016 championship. No, that's the year that LeBron brought the first championship to Cleveland, right? There seems to be a separation there. Cleveland didn't win it. LeBron brought it to them. And I know Cleveland hasn't won a championship without LeBron, but I think the fact that they've been able to build a championship contender without him speaks volumes about the job that the front office has done for the Cavaliers and the pieces around. I mean, you look at Jared Allen, all right, to get, they got him in a trade. You were able to go, and obviously you draft Evan Mobley, you've developed him. The jury's still out on whether they've truly developed him to his maximum potential or not, but the maximum potential for Mobley has prevented the Cavs from sending him in any kind of deal to bring in a Jaylen Brown or a Giannis Antetokounmpo or someone like that, right? Like, there's still a lot of expectations on that. But to be aggressive and for them to pull the trigger on the trade that they went out and got a Donovan Mitchell, Darius Garland, they drafted and developed. Part of that deal to get Donovan Mitchell was Colin Sexton. Sexton turned into be a very, very good guard in the NBA, and they used him, and they used that to be able to go get Donovan Mitchell. They've drafted well and developed well. And the roster construction has been solid. I mean, the fact that you have a roster, even without LeBron, of James Harden, Donovan Mitchell, Jared Allen, all right, Evan Mobley, the fact that you have all those four under contract and are still not at the maximum level of which you are at the apron, that you could still go out and get a LeBron, and I know it would be at a vet minimum, but like, they've constructed the roster to where they haven't handcuffed themselves and they've had the flexibility. They could have got a Jaylen Brown if they wanted. They could have got a Giannis if they wanted. They could have got a Giannis and LeBron if they wanted, and they still could end up with LeBron. The bottom line is, I think that if you give the Cavaliers front office truth serum, I think deep down they would prefer to win a championship without LeBron. Deep down. If you ask Gilbert, if you ask anyone in that front office, I think winning a championship without LeBron to show that this organization doesn't need LeBron, I think would be massive for that organization. The problem is I think that they're close, but there was nothing they could have done this offseason other than get Giannis or get a Jaylen Brown, but then you're still breaking up the roster. Like, if you break up a roster like that, it better be to go get a championship. I don't know if you can guarantee that the Cavs win it with Giannis or with Jaylen Brown, which is one reason why I think they still stood pat with Mobley. Because if you go get Giannis to lure LeBron over and you don't get LeBron, now you get a couple more years of Giannis and then you watch Mobley dominate for the next decade. That's a problem. And the same thing with, of course, Jaylen Brown, who you're getting a really good player, but is he good enough to lead you to a championship? That's why the Cavs stood pat, in my opinion. I don't think that they were willing to blow this thing up to chase a potential championship. They're already in position to potentially win a championship. So this LeBron thing, I'm very fascinated by it because I can't believe we're still talking about LeBron in this light. That there are teams who are LeBron away from being championship favorites or contenders. That's crazy to me that at his age, 24 years in the league, I think where LeBron goes, I think that it's not a 1-year deal. I do think this is a 2-year deal. I do think that LeBron, I don't know if you guys, maybe I'm OCD. I've never been accused of being OCD, but it's going to drive me nuts if he retires after 24 years in the league. Just play one more year and retire on a good, hard number like 25. You know what I mean? I think he signs a 2-year deal. I think it's a 2-year deal in Cleveland. I think first year is about pursuing the championship. Second year, it's about the farewell tour. I think it's about, and you could say, and to be honest, you'll have a chance to win a championship during the farewell tour, which would be the ultimate farewell tour. But I'm just saying, I do believe that this year, I think LeBron has one more full tank of gas left in him to go balls to the wall, hard in the paint, go get and pursue a championship. But man, like I said, I think Cleveland deep down, they would love to win a championship without him. But right now, 24 years into the league, somehow, some way, the Cavs need LeBron to win a championship. And they'll take it. They'll take it. I mean, think of all the finals appearances they've had with LeBron. The fact that they only have one is kind of interesting in itself, right? That's one thing that people use against LeBron in his resume for the greatest of all time, is the fact that he has so many finals losses. But I've never thought that finals losses were more damning to a resume than not getting to the finals at all, or not getting to the finals more than what certain players have. So the whole twisting and moving of the goalpost when it comes to LeBron has always fascinated me. But I will say this, LeBron going to Cleveland, I think it makes the most. There's two spots. Philly makes sense if you could trust Joel Embiid, which you can't. But Philly with Maxey and, of course, Brown now that you've added Brown, they kind of interest me. But they only make sense if you have Joel Embiid, and you don't. Cleveland, to me, makes all the sense in the world. It just makes the most sense. Donovan Mitchell averaged 26 points per game last year. 26 points per game, just a hair under 5 rebounds a game, just a hair over 3 assists a game, average a steal a game, right? Doesn't turn the ball over much. So Donovan Mitchell is going to take care of the heavy lifting at the offensive end when it comes to scoring, right? LeBron averaged just about over 7.5 rebounds a game last year. He would be second. If you look at the number, Mobley averaged about 8. That number needs to go up for Mobley, by the way. Mobley needs to be a double-digit rebounder. I mean, I get it that there's rebounds to be split between him and Jared Allen. I mean, what was Jared Allen's rebound total last year? Yeah, I mean, it's about the same. Like Jared Allen and Evan Mobley average about 15 rebounds a game between the two. LeBron's going to give you another 8 rebounds per game right there. So you're looking at anywhere between 20 to 25 rebounds a game just from those 3 players alone. LeBron averaged over 7 assists a game last year. James Harden led the team in assists, and he only played for a small portion of the season. He led them in assists at about 5.5 assists per game. All right, the next closest one was Evan Mobley. Evan Mobley doesn't, Evan Mobley averaging 4 assists a game, I think, is a pretty damn big deal. But if you could bring LeBron over averaging 7 to 8 assists a game, I do think, honestly, you could see LeBron potentially average a triple-double in Cleveland. And here's why. He will not have to exert as much energy at the offensive end when it comes to scoring. He will focus on facilitating and getting Evan Mobley involved and getting Donovan Mitchell involved. So you're going to get your assists. He's still going to average double digits. He's not going to average 26, 27, 28 a game. He's going to average anywhere between 19 to 21 points per game, 20 points per game in that range. He's going to play 28 to 30 minutes a night. I think he could average close to damn triple-double. I think he's going to average 8-9 rebounds a game. I think he's going to get his double-digit assists a game. He'll get his double-digit points per game. I think he'll flirt with averaging a triple-double this year. This is why I think LeBron is built to play deeper into his career at an elite level, because a lot of players like Kobe had to rely on being an elite scorer. to remain being Kobe. When Kobe couldn't be an elite scorer as he got older, you're no longer Kobe, right? MJ with the Wizards, he wasn't that elite scorer, that killer that he was in Chicago. So you're no longer MJ. LeBron can remain LeBron at a super high level significantly longer because we're going to look at points and say, oh, look, LeBron's points are starting to dip. Yeah. But LeBron, when his scoring goes away, his mind doesn't go away. His passing ability doesn't go away. His rebounding doesn't go away. He is physically and mentally built to still be an elite player, nearly averaging a triple-double deep into 20-plus years in the league. And I think he fits Cleveland. I think Mobley can rebound, block shots, score. Mitchell is going to shoot, and he's going to score. Jared Allen is going to defend along with Mobley inside and rebound. And guess what? Jared Allen, it's not like he's a scrub. I mean, at 12.5 points per game, but he also brings you 7 rebounds a game. He brings you almost 2 blocks a game. Everyone does a little bit of the small things very well. You have shot blockers, you have rebounders, you have passers, you have scorers. And guess what? LeBron will complement the rebounding inside with the 2 bigs. He'll complement the passing with James Harden and even Mobley, averaging close to 5 assists a game. I mean, that's pretty damn impressive, right? He can score, he can pass, he can rebound. LeBron back in Cleveland, I think elevates them to a whole other level. And I'm kind of glad that Cleveland did not give up Evan Mobley to go get a Giannis or Brown and any other star player out there. I'm Justin Kinner. It's the Justin Kinner Show right here on 1410 ESPN Radio, 937-518-1410. LeBron watch. Where does he ultimately end up? I think it was a massive deal that Donovan Mitchell signed that 4-year extension because I think here's what Cleveland's trying to do. Every time LeBron left Cleveland, he left them, I mean, desert dry. They had nothing left. Nothing. And every time LeBron left, they had to start over from scratch. And that's how you ended up with some of the best, that's how you ended up, with the likes of a Kyrie Irving and a Wiggins and some guys like that. You moved on from Wiggins as a part of the deal to bring in Kevin Love when he returned and ultimately led to the trio that brought him a championship, right? But when LeBron left and Kyrie left and you no longer had Wiggins and Anthony Bennett was a bust, and you had nothing left. There was nothing remaining but just dust, right? And we all know how bad it was the first time that he left. All right. When he left the first time, I mean, it was that's what led to Anthony Bennett, who was a bust. That's technically what led to Kyrie. But we know how bad things are. When he left the second time, it's honestly what led to them being in position to get the Colin Sextons of the world and the Darius Garlands, and ultimately down the road and Evan Mobley and guys like that who they drafted and developed and all that stuff. But what Cleveland's doing right now is making sure, this is why this is the perfect case scenario. You're going to get a chance you've built a championship contending roster. This is a team that was just in the Eastern Conference Finals. Okay. Just in the Eastern Conference Finals. And you're about to take a team that was just in the Eastern Conference Finals and add a LeBron potentially, right? LeBron retires in 2 years. Guess what you still have left? Donovan Mitchell, Evan Mobley. All right. Jared Allen, who's, I feel like he's been in the league forever. He's still pretty dang young. He's not an old player, but he is a veteran player who brings a lot of experience, right? He's 28 years old. I don't know why I was shocked by that. I thought Jared Allen was like in his low 30s, approaching mid 30s, like around my age. I was shocked to see that he was still in his 20s. So that's the beauty part about this is Cleveland is set to welcome in LeBron to compete for a championship. This is a team that's already competing for championships. LeBron leaves in 2 years, and they're still going to be in position to compete for championships. I think this is I think Cleveland is in a very, very good spot as far as the Cleveland Cavaliers are concerned. Where does LeBron end up? I think right now it needs to be Cleveland. I think that I will rip LeBron. If LeBron chooses anywhere but Cleveland at this point, I'll have a problem with it. Because I think he's being disrespectful to Cleveland, to fans, to organizations. Stringing teams along, I think, is disrespectful. Come back to Cleveland. LeBron is an attention fill in the blank. I don't think I'm allowed to say that word. So let's try not to get suspended while Kev Nash is off. I know he's not on the show, but he's off this week. I don't need him to come back to me getting suspended for saying an inappropriate word. But he is an attention hog. How about that? He's an attention hog. Okay. I think he's waiting for this World Cup to wrap up. Aren't we all? My goodness. I think he's waiting for that World Cup to wrap. I think that all the sports world needs to be on him. And I think that if he announces he's going back to Cleveland, World Cup shadows that a little bit. All-Star for MLB coming up. I think it's going to be another 2 weeks before LeBron makes his decision. I think the World Cup needs to be done. In fact, let me look this up. When does this overrated kickball tournament end? What the hell's the date? I don't even know when this ends. When does this put? Oh, July 19th. Yeah, July 20th. July 20th. I feel like July 20th is going to be when we get LeBron's decision. I could be wrong. I've been wrong before, but I think it needs to be about him. I think it's right before the NFL starts to take over and all that. But I think LeBron returns to Cleveland. I really do. 937-518-1410. Text or call. We're going to talk Reds when we come back. I wanted to get into some Bengals and Browns today. We'll get into that later in the week. But let's talk some Reds again. I want to talk about Hunter Green. Hunter Green made his debut for the season for the Reds over the weekend. It didn't go well. I don't really care about that. I didn't expect it to go well. This is a guy that was coming. I mean, he had, just surgery on his arm, not even months ago. Earlier in the year. It's July. Not even a few months ago, he had surgery on his arm, and he's already back. So kudos to him. That's quite a return already. I didn't think we'd see him until after the All-Star break. The fact that we're going to get to see probably another start from him before the All-Star break is pretty wild. But Hunter Green can help this team win. But to me, he can't help this team win on this roster. I think the key to the Reds retooling this thing and getting the train back on the tracks is moving on from Hunter Green. And we'll discuss it more when we come back. Plus, what other players, if you're the Reds GM, the trade deadline coming up on August 3rd, which players would you move? Which players would you move? My answer might surprise you on the players I wouldn't move, but we'll get to all of that when we come back. It's the Justin Kinner Show presented by Frickers.
ESPN 1410 Wing AM weather.
Today, cloudy this morning. A few showers developing during the afternoon. A high of 86. Tonight, partly cloudy skies, low around 70 degrees. And tomorrow for your Tuesday, considerable cloudiness with a high of 88. I'm Adam Zellick for 1410 ESPN Radio.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm.
I'm Chuck McDowell, founder of Wesley Financial Group. Did you buy a timeshare because they told you it was a great investment? That's a lie. Most timeshares can be bought online for $1. To find out what your timeshare is worth and to cancel it, call us today and we'll send you our timeshare exit kit free with all your options for cancellation.
Call Wesley for your free exit info guide. 800-790-1400. 800-790-1400.
This is the story of the one who keeps multiple buildings running smoothly day after day. Plumbing that flows, HVAC that hums, cleaning supplies that keep surfaces sparkling. That's why she counts on Grainger.